Officials telling ABC News that President Trump and Vice President Vance will take part in a virtual meeting tomorrow with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy and European allies. This, of course, happening just days before President Trump's scheduled peace summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska. Zelenskyy claiming that Putin isn't preparing for peace, just new offensive operations. Russia showing no signs of slowing down its attacks and is pushing harder and making dangerous breaches in Ukraine's eastern front. So joining me for more on this is ABC News' Patrick Reevell from our London bureau, along with ABC News national security and defense analyst Mick Mulroy. So first of all, Patrick, what do you expect here from that virtual meeting that's taking place tomorrow? What message is Zelenskyy looking to deliver there?
Yeah, Kana, as you say, President Trump and Vice President Vance are due to speak with President Zelenskyy tomorrow. And last night, Zelenskyy said that Ukrainian intelligence showed no indication that Vladimir Putin is preparing for a ceasefire and that Russian forces are continuing to prepare for more offensives. And I think he will want to convey that to the president and the vice president. He will also, I think, want to put this message, which we again heard from him today in a meeting with journalists, that he categorically will not hand over unoccupied Ukrainian territory in the Donbass region to Vladimir Putin. He again strongly said to journalists that one of the reasons he could not do that, besides the fact that Ukraine's constitution prohibits it, is that it would also allow Russia in the future to renew its attacks, since it would mean handing over a number of key defensive cities that are very important strong points. In general, I think what we're seeing is not only Ukraine, but also European countries trying to lay down red lines ahead of this summit on Friday, and also trying to get ahead of ways that Vladimir Putin might try and manipulate President Trump, Kana.
And Mick, we know that neither Zelenskyy or any European leaders have been invited to the summit this week. So what are the concerns there that no Ukrainian representatives are expected to attend at all? What kind of tone does the U.S. need to strike here?
So essentially, this is the biggest concern, that this meeting is going to happen and where they're going to talk about, quote unquote, land swaps. And essentially, it's going to be stillborn, as President Zelenskyy said, meaning that nothing that comes out of it will mean anything if the Ukrainians aren't part of it. And I think that's why the United States is doing this preparatory meeting with Ukraine, with our European allies before this meeting. It's likely that President Zelenskyy will give President Trump an idea of what the Ukrainian people may be willing to do if they get the right security assurances on the other side of it. So it's very important to make the Friday meeting worth having at all, that President Trump understands this so he can best advocate, hopefully, for the Ukrainian position. Because right now, as we've seen, President Putin doesn't seem interested at all in a ceasefire. Everything he's doing is preparing to continue his offensive and escalate his offensive. And until he sees consequences to that, he's likely just to keep having these meetings as a way to delay the inevitable, which we hope is secondary sanctions.
Certainly. All right, Patrick, Mick, our thanks to both of you.